Kira Han was a name that echoed through the halls with a mixture of admiration and fear. With her flawless beauty, sharp wit, and academic excellence, Kira was the epitome of perfection. She was popular, adored by many and feared by more. Yet behind her striking appearance and top grades lay a heart cold as winter, a soul untouched by kindness, and a personality dripping with arrogance. Kira's bullying was unlike any other. She could shatter someone's self-esteem. She wielded her popularity like a weapon, spreading rumors that would ruin reputations and isolating anyone who dared to cross her. Her victims were often left in tears, not from physical pain, but from the emotional scars she left behind. She would often humiliate the less fortunate students during group projects, using their weaknesses as the punchlines of her cruel jokes. But Kira's life took an unexpected turn when her father, Mr. Han, a stern but wise businessman, learned about her cruel behavior. One evening, after receiving yet another complaint about Kira's bullying, Mr. Han called her into his study. "Kira," he began, his voice calm but firm, "I have heard of your actions at school and I am deeply disappointed." "Kira, my father, they're just jealous of me. They're weak and I'm strong. Isn't that how the world works?" Mr. Han sighed, seeing the stubbornness in her eyes. He knew words alone would not change her heart, so he decided to teach her a lesson she would never forget. Mr. Han drove her to a small rundown building on the outskirts of the city. It was a Zen monastery where a Zen master named Master Li resided. The monastery was a place of peace, far removed from the chaos of Kira's life. For the next month, Kira's life was turned upside down. She was stripped of her luxuries and forced to live a life of simplicity. She woke up at dawn, meditated for hours, and participated in the daily chores of the monastery. At first, Kira resisted. She complained, refused to participate, and even tried to run away. But Master Li was patient. He never scolded her or raised his voice. Instead, he would ask her to sit with him and listen to the sounds of nature. The wind in the trees, the birds chirping, the water flowing. One evening, after a long day of chores, Master Li invited Kira to his private chamber. "Kira," Master Li began, his voice calm and soothing, "I have a special task for you tonight. It is simple, but it requires great concentration. I want you to sit here in front of this mirror and look at yourself. Watch the reflection of the candle flame beside you. Stay here until the flame in the mirror goes out." Kira frowned. This seemed pointless to her, but she had learned not to question Master Li's requests. She sat down on the mat and began to watch the reflection of herself and the candle in the mirror. Minutes turned into hours. The room grew darker as night fell, and the silence was broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves outside. Kira's eyes began to strain from staring at the mirror, but the flame continued to flicker steadily, both in reality and in the reflection. Her patience wore thin, frustration bubbling to the surface. She was used to quick results, to controlling every situation, but this task seemed endless and maddening. Finally, unable to bear it any longer, Kira angrily blew out the real candle, expecting the reflection to disappear instantly. But to her shock, the mirror remained illuminated. The reflection of the flame continued to flicker, bright as ever. "How is this possible?" she gasped, bewildered and suddenly frightened. Master Li, who had been silently observing from the corner of the room, approached her with a gentle smile. "Kira, what you see in the mirror is not just a reflection of the candle. It is a reflection of your own mind. You see, the flame in the mirror represents your ego. As long as you cling to your arrogance, your superiority, and your need to dominate others, that flame will continue to burn brightly. No matter how you try to extinguish it externally, it will persist within you. The more you stare at it, the more it consumes your attention and energy." "But how do I put it out?" Kira asked, her voice tinged with desperation. "The flame will only go out when you stop feeding it, when you let go of your pride and your need to see yourself as above others. It is not the candle that you must extinguish, but the flame within your heart that fuels your arrogance. Only then will the reflection fade." Kira sat in silence, absorbing the meaning of his words. She realized that the flame in the mirror was not just a trick. It was a symbol of the way she had been living her life, constantly feeding her ego and burning others with her pride. From that day on, Kira's demeanor changed entirely. The arrogance that once defined her was replaced by a calm, humble confidence. She no longer sought to elevate herself by bringing others down. Instead, she became a source of light, helping others to find their own paths without judgment or superiority. True power does not lie in dominating others, but in mastering oneself. Arrogance and pride are flames that can consume us from within, but through humility and self-awareness, we can extinguish them and find true peace.